Okay, so a little disclaimer before we get into the video too much. I know I have some dry skin on my forehead. I know my hair is not like perfect. We're just making a video 2 weeks post surgery to update you on like the surgery I just had. Yay! If anybody's been following along, then you'd know what surgery that is. I have wasted far too much time in my life waiting to get the surgery done, and now it's done, and now I don't have a personality anymore because it's consumed me. Um, so basically, yeah, I think I'm doing pretty good for recovery post surgery. It's little couple road bumps here and there with some things, but overall pretty good. Um, and so basically, the exact surgery that we had is we had like the rhinoplasty with the nose, we had the frontal sinus setback, we had the brow lift. So we had like these orbital bones like worked down a bit. We had our eyebrows like stapled to our head up here. And we got rid of this little guy, this little bumpy in the middle of our head. Not the most crazy stuff. I could just put on a hat, which is what I've been doing for most of my life, you know? So, yeah, I'm just kind of like, okay, I'm happy that it's over with. I feel a lot more confident with just like being able to like, and, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, we still got like, we could do lower FFS. We could do the chin. I'm like scheduled for it in like 16 months that I could be called in to get it done, kind of thing. But after doing all this, that was a lot of. That was a lot. That was a lot to recover. That was a lot to go through, and I don't know how badly I want to do that. I mean, it would be nice just to get it done. I still have the tracheal shave scheduled. We have like the smallest of trachs. It's not even. It's not even like an issue most of the time. Like if I really do a profile and like I really protrude it kind of thing, you can see it. Um, I still just want to get it done for like my own safety in these crazy times, right? Um, and like if anybody, so like for everybody that's been following me, in these videos, that like I have been on hormones for nearly 13 years is when I started. I was off for 2 years. I was on for 2 years, off for 2 years, on the rest of this time, right? So it's just like it's nice that I'm finally like getting a certain level of confidence again with things. Um, at the same time, it's like it's still gonna take a long time for the healing. It's like I was kind of under the assumption like, oh yeah, like after surgery, like 2 weeks after your swelling mainly goes down a lot. And for the most part, that's true. If you go back to like my one short video, 3 days after surgery or whatever, my face is all swollen up. I think it might have even been day two. I'm not sure. But like the whole process of the surgery and the recovery and just everything was not exactly what I was expecting. I mean, I thought it would be maybe a little bit easier. It was pretty difficult. It was a lot. Um, but at the same time, it's like we got through it. I went into surgery with a sore throat. I like post surgery. I thought I was like definitely gonna like puke or something. I'm so glad I didn't because like what I didn't think during this whole process, and it just never clicked with me, is that like you're not gonna be able to breathe out of your nose for the first like week. I didn't know that they put like stents in your nose, and how they put the stents in your nose is they stitch them in, and I also had a drain in the side of my head, and the drain is like it leaks out like fluid and plasma and all this stuff, and like I was just like, oh god, when I saw that I had that, I was like, no, I don't want that. I don't have to. So like I was just like, hopefully I don't have to get one, I just don't want it. But then I did, and I was just like, but so I was like really annoyed about the drain. But let's move it back a bit. So post surgery, I I'm in the hospital bed. I'm just like, oh my god, I had a little mustache on for any like anything leaking. I put that on for a couple days, like this little gauze mustache to catch any like gunk coming out of your nose kind of thing. Um, but like yeah, I didn't like need it, but it still like helped. I didn't want it in like my food or like while I was trying to breathe or anything. Again, the stents in your nose, I didn't know I had stents in my nose. I didn't know I had stents in my nose until I talked to like my one primary care physician after I left the next day. Um, the whole thing was like they did blood work after surgery and they found out my hemoglobin was really low. It was 6.8. and they were going to do a blood transfusion, but I was like, I don't really want to. But we also had this major snowstorm coming. And most of Ohio's roads were completely closed the next day, that you weren't even allowed to like travel on them. So it was a good thing that I like listened to the one doctor. They're like, well, if you could demonstrate that your hemoglobin's not low, then we can release you today. Otherwise, we have to keep you another night. I didn't have like a hotel for another night. I did like a GoFundMe thing just to be able to afford this hotel. It was like the most delicate of situations to be able to get like all of this to like come into place, kind of thing. I felt like I felt like a villain in like a cartoon, and it's just like I got like my mastermind plan and it's all coming together, and it's just like I don't know, something like that. Just but like so like I did some laps on in the hall, and like they were just like, okay, well you should be good. And I was like so fatigued after that. I was like, oh my god. I was just like, no, I don't want to. But anyway, like it was frustrating. There was a lot of frustrating things with the hospital. Um, but like I think that's probably because I just had my face ripped off. The surgery itself, uh, an incision from ear to ear. I did have a nice picture that you can kind of see the incision, but since I got around and everything, I don't have it anymore. But anyway, like what they had me originally was wrapped in this like cloth headdress kind of thing. Um, so like I couldn't see the scar for like the first like it's supposed to be a week, but like it was 10 days before I got that off. Um, and so like when that was wrapped, it's like wrapped real tight around your chin. It's wrapped real tight around your head. It's in the video in my little short kind of thing just to show it off. I can't believe I was even like filming a video to like talk about this during that time, because it's like there's so much going on, and it's like you when you're only like breathing out of your mouth, like it gets to be a lot. And like I was trying to conserve my energy to like not over talk or anything, just because it's just like, oh my god, my throat is already sore. I went into the surgery with the sore throat, and I'm just like I'm dying to just try to like talk, kind of thing. So um yeah, so I don't know, just the whole like everything, trying to get everything together. I it was a lot to get out of the hospital, but like the one big like complaint thing I had after surgery was like post surgery. It was like a day, like I stayed in the hospital overnight, and then like we were on the road like basically the time I was like done with surgery the day before. So basically 24 hours after surgery, we're back on the road going home, and there's so many bumps on the road. I live 163 miles from the hospital, and and the freaking bumps, it's just like anytime there was a bump, and I like had to hold my head up, and I'm like, I can't do this. I can't do this. And I started crying in the car because it was just hurting so much. Anytime like we went, it was a 70-mile-per-hour speed limit, and we went like 73 miles per hour, and my head, the pressure in my head was just like so much. And like I started crying over it. And when I started crying, I started getting like this weird sound and like in my nose, and I thought like, oh, I'd like just ruined my surgery because I'm crying or something. And I couldn't like, so I was like full blown cry, can't cry. I have to like calm myself down, but I also have to like not whack my head for like the next 2 hours and 45 minutes on the road. It was a lot. It was a lot. It was like way more than I was like expecting. And then like by the time I got home, I just like I I cried multiple times over the bumpy road, like, or just like got like really depressed about it. But like things kind of fell into place once I got home. We had like a medical bed that like goes on an incline. That's like a big importance for recovering post surgery. I got a humidifier right before surgery, and it was like on such a whim that I did that. I got this nice fuzzy blanket um, that was light, and like I'm not allowed to lift more than like 10 pounds after surgery for the first um, 6 weeks, kind of thing. So, uh, yeah, and like I could definitely tell like I was really super crazy fatigued those first couple days. I was moving very like I want to say meticulously, that I couldn't like I just felt like, okay, if I want to grab this blanket, and I just like I so slow, and like not to hurt the face or anything. The nose had like a little cast on it on the outside as well. Um, but yeah, so like the recovery at home, it was just like it was a whole process. It was a lot of laying around. It was a lot of discomfort, pill cycling, taking pills every like 8 hours and trying to not like choke on anything or start suffocating on water or anything, mouth breathing, waking up every hour or waking up every 50 minutes from my sleep because I'm like choking or like like I can't breathe, I'm having nightmares that I'm suffocating. Um and all the fun stuff, right? All the easy stuff. I can't believe it's as difficult as it was. Like I just like cuz like I would have thought, this would have been something more people that have gone through these surgeries that like talk about kind of thing. I guess I don't know. Um, so let's see. Um, so yeah, the nose, the pressure when I was crying, the moving. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Um, oh yeah, and then I just talked about that, the sleeping and feeling like I'm suffocating. Yeah. So, but like I did have a finger reader and it was saying that I was at 98% oxygen after that. So it's like, okay, that's good. But it got to the point that like every time I woke up and even this morning, I'm still having this go on because my nose is like all clogged up recently that like when I wake up, my mouth is like the driest it's ever freaking been. And I don't know if it's because I'm running a humidifier while it's also like 5 degrees outside. Oh, it's 7 degrees, my bad. Um, that like it's laying weird in my throat or something that it's just making it like super, super hard to just like relax and sleep kind of thing. Um, but yeah, so like the recovery for those first, like it was 10 days before I had to go back for my follow up, and like that whole time that I'm recovering, I'm like, oh God, do I have to go back on these roads again? I don't know how that's gonna handle for me. Um, I have like this autoimmune disorder that I have like a lot of discomfort, and I want to like force my back into place and whatever, and like, but I'm supposed to relax, and it was a lot to like just try to even lay down. Being that I need to sleep on an incline, that I have to sleep with like my back laying down and just whatever, like that's a lot on me because I'm a side sleeper, or uh I'll sleep on my stomach sometimes, like most of the time, but like more recently I haven't because of my neck issues that are like coming on. So like yeah, it's just like I'm broken and I'm old at this point, and I've given a good 8 years of my life wanting just to get through surgery kind of thing, see how it goes. So um basically after like all that, and I'm sure I've missed a few things. Oh yeah, so like post surgery like food stuff, you want to have like soft foods. I didn't really think about that because like I ordered an apple at the hospital and like I was just like I can't eat this, and like just anything, like even just like I did like a hot dog. I shouldn't have did a hot dog, there's a lot of sodium, but like I did a hot dog and I'm like I can't open my mouth enough to, even with not doing any jaw work or anything. If you do lower FFS, you do the incision in the gums, you take the skin back and then you work on the things and you put it and you sew it back up. So it's not even that evasive, but like even with where everything is, it's just like just okay. And another thing I want to say too is like since we did like this um upper area kind of whatever, my words aren't good. My words aren't good. Caveman brain, no. Um, these like area, this was like jutted out just a bit, but like on this side, it was all like this asymmetrical that was out a lot more. And I think that happened during the time that I stopped hormones because like my older pictures, I never had that in those pictures. Um, but like, so it's like kind of numb on this side, but I can kind of feel. But like all of this, all of like up over to like here, I can't, I can't feel, I can't feel it. Like, I mean, I feel it, but it's just like super numb. I did see the MRI whenever I went back for the follow up appointment, 10 days out kind of thing. The 10-day out follow up appointment, it was exhausting. I like all those nights of just like miserable sleep and everything. Like thankfully things were peaceful enough during that time at the house that I was able to get through it. But like um all those nights of just like yeah, just like suffocating kind of thing. And then like I get there and then like I drank some water beforehand. And like before the appointment, I'm like, oh my God, I need water. Why didn't I bring the water from the car? And we were there an hour early and I was like, I'm gonna, I'm so fatigued. Like I'm so like, I can bear, like I'm not even gonna be able to talk. My mouth started getting real dry again. Um, but they called me back and then they're like, okay, so we we're gonna take the drain out. Thankfully, we had the drain. I have to mention too. You have to like strip the drain and like pull everything through and make sure there's nothing in the line, and then you have to empty it, and then you have to squeeze it like, and then you have to close it up, and you have to do that every single 8 hours for that whole process. It was so gross, but at least like the fluid doesn't stink, or it's just kind of gross. It's just kind of gross. It's not like it was more gross before I did it a couple of times. I was just like, oh God, and I got like squeamish and whatever. But then like it got to the point that I'm just like, apple juice. I whisper apple juice when I do it, and then I usually drink apple juice afterwards to celebrate. Um, because it looks a lot like apple juice coming out of your head. What do you want from me? I thought about keeping the drain in my head just so I could have an unlimited supply of apple juice. What, are you a cop all of a sudden? Um, I go to this appointment, right? And I'm just like, okay, they're gonna take the drain out, they're gonna take the stents out, great. So I'm thinking they're just gonna like, there's gonna be like a little like binky kind of thing or something in the for the drain, and they're just gonna bump and take it out. No, I thought like for the stents they're just gonna they're gonna stick some like tweezers in my nose and they're just gonna boop. No, like I said, there's stitches in the holding the stents in, but we did the drain first. They had to undo a stitch on the side of my head, and they're like, "You need to inhale, and then you need to exhale, and on the exhale, we're gonna remove it." Okay, and I'm like, "Okay, I just want it out of my fucking, I just want it out of my head." Yeah, and like, so did the inhale, did the exhale, and then I start feeling something that's about, I don't know, I have to say maybe 6 inches. This tube is up here. It's in my head way up here. It's just a tube up in my head. It's not just connected in a little hole. No, it's a line run through, and they just like, yeah, and it's like whenever you like retract an extension cord, or like when you press the button for a to get the sweeper line back in. It's like, it's like, no, this is such a weird, I hate it. I hate it. I'm so glad I don't have that anymore. Um, and then, yeah, then the stents, they're like, okay, we have to cut the stitches. And then, like, they took the one stent out, and the stents are huge too. And after they took the one stent out, I spit up a ton of blood. um, yeah, disclaimer, this is a gross video. Hey, a little late, right? Um, but yeah, no, like I had like the blood clots from my nose, and I just like spat up a ton of them, and I've never spat that much up since like I had like bleeding out of my nose when I was like a kid, and I think it was because I was eating like way too much like fudge and like junk food and stuff, that, and also during the cold and whatever. But like, yeah, it was like a gross amount, so much so that the person handling me was like, do you do that often? Are you okay? I'm just like, I don't know if I'm okay. What do you mean? But like, yeah, they were just like, no, it's like it's fine that that happens and whatever. But um, yeah, I've been having like bleeding pretty much nonstop. That I in like anytime I'd brush my teeth, I'd spit out a little bit. Anytime I'd go to sleep, during that first 10 days, I was bleeding into my mouth. Every once in a while, I had to spit into a trash can, kind of thing. Fun stuff. This is the stuff they don't tell you. So that's what I'm telling you. Um, so we got the stents out, we got the stitches out. They looked at the incision. Um, I got pictures taken again. I had pictures taken originally way back when, of before surgery and now after surgery. Um, the surgeon came in, looked at the sutures. They showed me on the computer my CT scan that I had right after surgery, and they're just like, look at all this. This is all bone that I had to work on, and that's over here on this really numb area. I'm just like, I'm thinking, I always thought for FFS that they like cut the part of your lobe out and then they like work it down and then they like put screws in your head to screw it back in. But this just looks like a mismeshed of like mesh. It's like what? This looks so gross on a CT. Um, it's just like these blobby. I'm like, is that even bone? It looks like they just like stuck Play-Doh in my head. I don't know what I was looking at exactly. It was enough to like freak me out a bit, right? Um, and I'm hoping that like everything's fine because like when I was inhaling, I was getting like a really cold sensation throughout my like head, even into where like the drain was kind of thing. I'm just like, I wonder if I'm leaking air into my head or like leaking something like so like I don't really know how I don't know how this all works, but like hopefully everything's healing good. They seem to think everything's healing good. They taught me how to wrap my nose during that appointment. Um so now I have to wrap my nose for the next 6 weeks. I have to wrap it once a day minimum. And it takes a lot of time for me to like put this together and like actually like do it right. So what I did was like after they did the first one, they showed me in a mirror how to do it. Um, I took that initial wrap and I put it on a playing card. And so like I had a template of measurements for how to put this on my nose and not like do it wrong or not like have the strips too short or anything. Um, so yeah, anytime that I do it, I'll measure it based off of that, and it'd be nice to just like get the measurements on like a piece of paper, and then just go from there kind of thing. Um, but for now, that's how I'm working with it. I feel like that was a little clever, but that's just like that's normal me, just problem solving in the ways that I can. But yeah, it's been a process, right? So like that following day after I got the stents taken out, I was able to breathe pretty good. Um, the next morning, I got a coffee, and it was so tasty. I haven't had a coffee in like since surgery. I think I only had like 1 cup the day before surgery. Normally, I'm like a cup and a half or 2 cup drinker, right? Um, but I started having like an anxiety, like a panic attack too. Like whenever you drink caffeine, some people get or whatever. It's just probably because I just didn't have it for so long. Um, and yeah, so like we're still recovering. We're still at the point of like we're not allowed to drive a car for a month after surgery, and we're getting to the point that we're like, 2.5 weeks away from being able to drive again, which will be nice. We're not allowed to exercise for 6 weeks. That's been a lot because you don't think about like, oh yeah, now if I'm not exercising, it's kind of like there's various tolls that puts on your body, various strains that I'm not used to because I'm a chronic pacer. I'm somebody that's like constantly moving all the time, and so to be sitting around feels very weird to me. I feel like I'm not doing enough. I feel like I'm like, so it's like um at the same time, when like at that post surgery appointment, they did say that like swelling is supposed to stay for some time. Like they were happy with how my swelling had gone down. It was so nice to get that head thing off, that head wrap off, by the way, because like this thing around my neck, it was like starting to feel like rashy almost, or it never quite got there, but it was like so freaking itchy and like when like my face swelled up and stuff, like this was like choking me a lot when I was just trying to like. So it's like I'm just happy that I got that out. Like so, like yeah, and when they took the wrap off, my hair was really crazy. My hair was styled. It looked like I was some sort of anime character or like main anime character kind of thing in a storyline or whatever. That like my hair was just like all the way back. I felt like a Yakuza, like a dragon character or something. I felt very um defined. It felt like an intentional hairstyle as well, which is kind of cool because I've never seen my hair like that. But at the same time, I'm not allowed to like shampoo and like rub it into my scalp kind of thing. I have to like just be very gentle and just put it on the hair. And so I'm also like kind of meticulous around, I don't know if I'm using that word right at this point, um, about like the where the incision is, where they took the drain out, because once they take the drain out, they don't like stitch it back up or anything. They just left a hole in the side of my head. I'm like, what? What? It's terrifying. But yeah, so like I said, swelling's still there. It was nothing compared to that video that I uploaded before. In fact, for the sake of it, I'm gonna bring up a picture of me at my most swollen, just so you know what we're talking about here when we're saying we were swollen, and you get to see my little mustache for any sort of drainage or whatever. I'm gonna show you my favorite picture, and this little green dot in the center of my head was when they look how happy I was. I was like, yay, I got surgery. This green dot in the center of my head is where they put your face back on after they do the surgery. So that's neat, huh? Everybody's learning. Everybody's here for learning, right? So it's been a thing. We're still supposed to have swelling for up to a year after surgery. I will say the swelling in like the forehead area is like kind of minor, and I feel like the swelling on the nose is like virtually not there, and it makes me a little concerned because like I've seen a couple other girls that got their nose done kind of thing, and they just got like this nice little slopey nose. And you can see that I do have a bit of a slope. We'll do a side view a little bit here. That like it does. Ow. Why did I do that? It does slope a little bit, but like it's kind of like down, and then it feels like it goes out more, and then it just kind of goes in. And I thought my nose was maybe too long at first, but I don't think that's really the case. I think it was just like really swollen whenever I first saw it. Oh yeah, by the way, when I first saw my nose after they took the cast off and everything at that follow-up appointment, they're like, so here's your nose, and then you can look in the mirror. And I looked in the mirror, and I was just like, oh, okay. And my mom was in the room with me, and she was just like, are they gonna get like these like little thingies on the side of their nose? Because it just kind of looked like I had like a Miss Piggy nose. I'm gonna be honest. I thought like, oh, now I have a Miss Piggy nose. That's cool. But like within that day to the next day after I took a shower, got my hair all nice and clean, and as much as I could. It's a process. It's gonna be a process for a little while. And I'm scared to like scrub this area of my head because like again, I saw the CT scan. I don't want to mess up anything. That's a lot of work they did. And but yeah, like once I took the wrap off for the first time and changed the wrap, that's when I put it on the playing card for the template and everything. But anyway, it seemed like the swelling went down a lot more than I was expecting with just between that first day and like the next day. So like I feel like the swelling's like gone, but like at the same time I saw a couple like before and after pictures online of people that have like their nose work like that. It's like this is 1 month after surgery, this is 3 months after surgery, and it tends to make a different shape after some time for some of these individuals that have had their nose worked on. So like it does look slopey with the bandage, right? But it kind of goes down and it kind of bumps up just a little bit. And that's how my nose always kind of was. And that's kind of what I was like always just like, oh, I hate that about my nose. But like I'm kind of hoping that it just gets a little more slopey, a little bit more straight down. But, obviously you have to work within what's possible for a person's bone structure and whatnot. So like I get it if it's not going to be, exactly 100% what I was hoping. But another thing that I thought of after that follow-up appointment was like when I got like the head wrap off and I finally saw my hair with like the face and everything. I was like, okay, so my hairline's still like, it's always been a little bit of an issue for me, but like yeah, it's been an issue for me, but like I had the option of getting like a hairline advancement where my hairline would probably be like to there, but like they would have to like pull that forward, and I don't know how I'd feel about that. I feel like that would be like restricting or feel like a lot on my head kind of thing. So I kind of opted out of it. Another reason why I opted out was because they do like an incision up here instead of like around, right? So I was just like, I don't want to like end up with like this permanent scar. I do see it sometimes with like some girls that got their face done, but at the same time, it's like, is that just because it's within a certain window of time? Does it actually heal up more as time goes on? It kind of always just, I don't know, just wasn't exactly what I was hoping to get out of it. So I realized I feel like my hairline is a little bit high, but it's fine enough, right? And I just like I had the thought of like, okay, I went through all of this to get these like other things worked on, and I could have had my hairline worked on as well, but I just didn't, you know? So I'm kind of like, I don't know. I'm kind of a little indifferent on that, but I feel like once my swelling goes down a little bit more, once I'm a little bit more confident about working with my hair and like combing everything and like styling stuff, I feel like it'll probably be good. It'll probably be fine. Um, as far as like doing makeup, that's something that I'm really like anxious to get back into doing, and like being able to work on things that like, because I had like this more overhanging brow, and so my options were limited, and even what I did do just never felt like they came out very good regardless how much time I put into it, and that was really disheartening for me. um so like I'm excited to like explore doing some makeup and stuff again, and I just feel like, in starting hormones 13 years ago and like wanting to do makeup, but also not really ever doing makeup. Literally, the only thing I ever do is like a little bit of eyeliner. Um, yeah, I kind of want to be able to do a little bit more than that. But what I need to do for now is still just rest for another 4 weeks. I have to go back out for another follow up appointment. I don't know if there's more like stitches or anything that they have to remove. I'd imagine most of this is like dissolvable, but maybe there's some that aren't as well. Which whatever. I like it didn't bother me. They said it's gonna be like could be pretty painful to remove some of these stitches in my nose. It didn't bother me to do any of that. Um, but yeah, it's just like not from where I'm at now. It's just like, do I do jaw work? Like my jaw, like I feel like if I mess with my jaw, then it's gonna make me look more um, possibly fake. But maybe it'll turn out really well too. But at the same time, it's just like, well, if my jaw is how my jaw is now, it kind of makes everything look okay. I mean, it's just like, I don't know. I do want to get the trach done because like I also have like, let's see, this little bit of extra flabby skin that comes up whenever and sometimes in my pictures I'll get that, but like I don't know, my jawline is also like asymmetrical in a way, but like is it the worst thing? Is it the biggest issue? I kind of don't feel like it is. Um but I don't know. Back in the day, back when I started hormones, I was like more obsessed over like wanting FFS for like my chin area because I felt like that was like my kind of like giveaway, I guess. But like, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like once the swelling goes down, I feel like once I have my nose exposed, um, I'll try to show you a picture of my nose. I could have put these on my computer, but like, I can only do so much. I can only manage so many things at once with booger pictures. The level of contras inside, one of the levels of contras inside my nose. Uh, so it's kind of slopey. But like I said, there's like that little bit of a bump in the bridge. If it would focus, yeah, kind of this little like almost bump in the bridge, but I think that's gonna go down, and I hope it goes down because it does like kind of irk me a little bit, but like I'll take what I can get at this point. I did the thing, and I'm gonna live with my choice for the rest of my life, regardless how it turned out. Because I don't think I could possibly do another revisionary work on that again. That's too much on your freaking throat to be like breathing and bleeding and taking all these pills, and then okay, now I gotta eat something, and oh, I have to like what? What? That was insane. That was so much. And like my biggest regret with this whole thing is not being able to get it done 8 years ago when I wanted it, and just being able to like enjoy my life a little bit more, like I've said, when I had more youth about me, because I'm 34 years old. It took me that long to get just this one part of this done, and it's like there's so many more parts that we could do. It's just like, and I don't know. It's been a lot. I want to just be able to like recover and live my life kind of thing. Um but yeah, we'll see. We'll see how things are looking in the future, and but like yeah, honestly overall like brow area looks pretty good. My eyebrows never looked bad by themselves, but like the brow lift I think made a nice difference for like my facial how my face looks kind of thing. If I just cover up all the gross bits of my face. But I don't know. I still okay. And then another thing is like I freaking have been doing electrolysis for, um, like 4 months before surgery, and I normally had like laser hair removal and stuff, but like I have some hairs coming in, so it kind of makes a bit of a difference with my face whenever I have this going on. Gross stuff, right? Not stuff that I'm happy that is still going on. And then I also had an electrolysis reach out to me that said like, hey, your electrolysis isn't exactly doing the right job. They're leaving these pits in your face, and that's going to make you look older, kind of thing. And so I have to find a new electrolysis or not continue with electrolysis. And so like yeah, it's like it's frustrating because like this is all like newer hair, that like I really had like a mild amount of hair before, but I think it's because I was trying to get my testosterone up after a certain point because my testosterone was a little bit too low. Just fun things, right? Not to get too off topic, but yeah. And so next video I'm gonna get the rest of my face done, and we're gonna show you from there. Now I don't know what I'm gonna do really. I feel like I gotta give it time to recover a bit, and I feel like with my other surgery potentially being in like 16 months or something like that, 15 months. I don't know how far away at this point. I know the surgeon takes on one person every month. That's who I was originally waiting for to get upper FFS. So yeah, it's still just waiting, right? So at least I got this out of the way. Um, is it the best surgeon that I went with? I don't know. I don't really know. I had enough faith and confidence in them, so we'll see how this turns out, because like I know so many girls that go to like these like renowned surgeons that only do FFS and stuff, and it's like I'll take what I can get. I mean, there's so many girls that are on hormones for like under 2 years going to like the best surgeon ever. I'm just like, I'll take what I can get. And I'm just like, yeah. So, I feel like I've gotten some pretty good feedback, honestly, for like what I've had done. So I'm hoping that things do turn out pretty good in the end. I think they will for where the areas that were worked on. My other surgeon mentioned like doing possible like fat implants in this area, which we did not do. I had a couple people recommend to me. They're like, "Oh, you should do like a lip lift," and I don't know. Maybe it would be nice. It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell. I don't know how evasive it is. Um, But maybe I could do something like, instead of just like the full jaw work and everything with the other surgeon, maybe I could do like some of these minor tweaks kind of thing, something like that, and be happy with it and just move on, rather than going through another whole like large year-long recovery process kind of thing. And um so yeah, and like it basically everything within like 8 months or so is supposed to be kind of pretty much where things are going to be. Some people have even told me like, oh, it's going to take like a year and a half for things to. I'm just like, okay, like everybody's different. It looks like I don't have that much swelling. I've seen other people that have gotten their nose done and they are swollen. They're swollen, swollen. And it doesn't appear that that's like my case. Honestly, I wouldn't have even known that my nose was like swollen if they didn't tell me and make me tape my nose down and everything. I would have thought like, okay, that's what it looks like. But the tape is to keep the swelling down, and it is a vibe. I look like a mummy. I'm cool with it. Uh, I feel, I feel like it's such like a character, defining aesthetic kind of thing. I went in the public with this the other day, and people's heads were turning. Like I really kind of, I don't hate it. Um, but I'll be happy when I get it off. It's going to be 6 weeks that I have to wear it all day. Then it's going to be 6 weeks after that I have to wear it to bed, just to bed. Um, and so another fun thing is I'm not able to blow my nose. So making this video, I'm like half stuffed up. I can't like get this out of my nose. I think it's because of where the sutures were removed that like I can't quite like saline spray in there and get like the snoz to come out. It's really kind of in there. Another thing, before surgery, this is something that I've heard a lot of, and I was just like, okay, well, we'll see. And also, I don't know where the incision mark is on the nose. Like, I was like, I thought for sure it'd be like at the base of the nose or whatever. There's no incision there. I thought maybe they didn't do an incision. Maybe they just worked from other places and did the nose, and like, because like I was like, I don't see an incision mark. But that can't be right either, because I used to be able to stick my finger in my nose. I used to be able to stick my finger in my nose easily. So, they did something, and then through further investigation, I think it might have been right there. My nostril holes feel like they're a little bit asymmetrical, but I think it's just the wrap. I think it's just the wrap kind of like holding. Anyway, I think I've explained more or less everything that I've gone through, aside from a little bit of drama here and there. But yeah, it's it's been an experience. It feels surreal that like, I've gone through this and this isn't something that everybody does. So this is like an odd experience that like, it's just like, it's another trial and tribulation that like I brought onto myself and I made myself go through. And it was so odd and bizarre to be in that like framework of mind. It's like everybody has to do certain things at some point in their life. Most people have to get their wisdom teeth taken out, stuff like that. It felt like one of those moments, but like extreme. And I did tell people before I had surgery that I wanted it to be an absolute miserable experience for recovery. I wanted it to be grueling and just slow going and just feel like it's taking so long. And like, because I'm the type of person that when there's like something like a hardship like that and that you can't get out of and you have to wait it out, that by the end of it, you have like a new appreciation for things. And I don't know if I got the appreciation quite yet, but I feel like on some levels I probably did. It is nice to get back to somewhat of a normal daily life, not be totally reliant on somebody else. But yeah, it's gonna be a while before like getting back into exercising and stuff. I do want to get like the gym and stuff again. That would be nice. Um, and then the whole autoimmune stuff with me and starting like a an immunosuppressant again, which does not agree with me or something like that, to try to combat what's going on with my body and continue to live like a life that still doesn't correspond with the rest of society and still feel like an outcast no matter what I do. But I'll figure that out in the future. I mean, it would be nice if we could just continue this 2025 Nobel Prize for Science and Physiology, where the people um, were isolating autoimmune disorders and being able to treat them, kind of thing. And it would be great to just get this treated with some sort of gene editing, something, get the sixth chromosome fixed and not have to deal with it anymore. Um, but yeah, yeah. I don't know what else to say. Um, I don't know. I think I look pretty good. I think I look pretty good with this. Um, and I'll post in the future, obviously. So, oh yeah, and I don't know if I'm gonna like let this side of my hair grow still. Normally I shave it down. Maybe I should just let it grow out. Be done with the shaved head kind of thing. I kind of don't mind the scar. I kind of don't mind showing off the scar, but I feel like buzz cutting my head after that on that side and getting it down to a 3 might be a little much. I don't know. It might be like, it might feel weird or something, but that's all I have to say. I will be back in the next one, I'm sure.